Howdy. I don't know if you've ever wondered about today's subject. How do I find the clients, create the clients? Where are they? You know, the people who are willing to pay you for your services. Well, the answer might just surprise you, and I'm going to kind of go into a little behind the scenes peek on that in today's Coaching from the Carpool. I'm Leslie Hassler with Your Biz Rules Business Coaching, and this is actually kind of in preparation, if you will. I've been preparing for the Comerica Small Business Academy held at the Allen Chamber next week, where I'm going to present on how to create or have people happy to pay you, your clients happy to pay you. And here's the really interesting thing about this subject is, you know, the problem is we spend so much time and money in our marketing and our sales, and a lot of us have to do a lot of work before we even get a yes to a potential client proposal. Now, you can always work on shifting that, right? So you're able to be efficient in it, and that way you can go through your proposals even quicker. But the answer is that if you're having to wait to the very, very end to present a price, and then you get that, you said how much? Are you smoking crack? I don't know if you've ever heard these, and sometimes people have really drastic reactions when you present the investment for your services. So if you've ever had that situation where you've gone through the marketing process, you've gone through the sales process, you get to the end and you're told you're too expensive. Well, first off, go ahead and come to the Small Business Academy. After we do this episode, I'll put the link for that in the description so that you can go ahead and register for that. But we need to really understand what this problem is, what's creating it, and what you need to do with it. Because if you're in this situation of constantly being told that you're too expensive, that nobody understands why somebody would pay that, then you're eventually gonna start to believe it. So you'll find your confidence is a little bit lower. And when your confidence is lower, especially around price, and especially for women in business, my peeps, it can erode your ability to be effective at sales and marketing. So you can be starting to doubt yourself, and doubt's no place that we want to be. The second thing, though, is you could start thinking, well, maybe I am too expensive. Maybe I do need to decrease my pricing, you know, and it just leads you in a place where you don't know. So I don't want you to necessarily decrease your pricing. If you joined us in our first Small Business Academy, we actually talked all about pricing and how to determine where you need to be for where you want your business to grow. So we know this number, right? Next thing we have to do is learn how to position it, right? And so that way I'm like, how do I put this? It's not so much that you don't discount, because I actually give you a little bit of wiggle room, right? So you can feel like you're making a deal. But it's that you understand why you have value, and you can actually start to communicate that value. Now, if you've got the problem of nobody wants to pay, because that's usually what I hear from potential clients and clients is nobody wants to pay. Actually, there are people that want to pay. We're just not talking to them. And here's when this revelation came to me, and it was 3 or 4 years ago, even in my own business, that I was coming up against a lot of conversations. And sometimes my conversations can be an hour and a half. It could, you know, a sales pipeline for me from interest to commitment can take 6 weeks. Sometimes less, sometimes a little more, just depends on how ready a person is. And I was having a lot of the conversations where it was ending with like, wow, Leslie, I totally get what you do. I so see how it would be valuable, and I know it would work for me, but ... I don't have the money, right? And I thought that was a sales problem. Like I needed to do a better job at convincing someone to purchase. And I was sitting in a conference. Jeffrey Gitomer was presenting, and he opened up the floor for question and answer. And so, of course, I wrote my question, the whole situation, on a piece of paper, And he took it, and we took a break, and he comes back and he's like, all right, now I'm going to answer your questions. And lo and behold, the first question was mine. Yay! I'm like, yes, Jeffrey Gitomer, king of sales, gonna give me the answers. And he read the question and he looked out to the crowd. He goes, you know what the problem is? You're not talking to the right people. So if you're getting that you're too expensive, chances are you're not talking to the right people. And when I talk about ideal clients in my mastermind and my workshops, there's a couple of things you need to really understand about what an ideal client is. And there are three characteristics. One, they know they have the problem that you solve. Like, there's no convincing people that they have problems, even if they do have them. If they aren't aware of it, you're kind of walking uphill on that one. The second part is that they're willing to invest in themselves, meaning they're willing to pay for it. Did you know there are about 3 things that people will pay very value-driven pricing for? Are you one of them? Right? I said in my book, First This and That, no problem buying my clothes from Nordstrom and my groceries from Walmart, right? It's a different value proposition. And they need to be able and willing to pay for you, right? And that's such an element of that ideal client. So if you're getting that message, know this, you probably just need a shift. A lot of people like to make 180s on things like this, but that's actually the wrong thing to do, because you probably just need a shift in who that ideal client is. And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about, is just how you can use value propositioning, how you can actually communicate the reasons to buy in the marketing, so by the time you get to sales, you're more inclined to receive a yes. Because if we're not qualifying, right, in our conversations, and that's when we're finding out that price is an issue, we need to qualify in marketing so that we help those people deselect themselves from our sales process. Now, what's really interesting is you can do that with great kindness, great positivity, and a lot of times those people hang out in your periphery waiting for the time that they can say yes. And they just convert that much better down the road. So you might want to be in this room. I don't know about you. I'm thinking you might want to be in this room. We do have limited seating. I think as of last week, we were easily half full. So I do anticipate it being sold out, so to speak. But here's the great thing. My friends at Comerica Bank, it's free, whether you're an Allen Chamber member or not. They are really sponsoring this event because they're very committed to building community, and especially our business community. So check out the link in the description in today's post, and go ahead and grab your seat, and then bring to me what you're hearing from your clients. I'll actually help you decipher what it is they're saying. We'll work on what I call the yes formula, so that your sales and marketing helps pre-qualify all those people. And I'll give you a few of my tools that I use with my clients to make it very easy to do, because business is hard enough. Why make it harder? Well, this has been Leslie Hassler with Your Biz Rules Business Coaching. We're coaching from the carpool, and hopefully I'll be seeing you at the next Small Business Academy.